Art's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
A very beautiful thing. My art teacher had dreads, so I always thought that art was like a hippie thing. Until this year. So go me
hippies.
for go hippies.
Trevor's a hippie now, I guess.
Oh boy. Okay. Well.
So what is art, Trevor? What's your definition?
I feel like art is a way that human beings can express themselves in a way that's not speech. If you think about it, art is pretty universal. And it's its own language, honestly. When you have a creative mind and you're thinking in a creative way, you can appreciate art more. And that's why I think that this past year I've really appreciated all forms of art, is because my creative mind has been being strengthened, I guess. And I try to like push my creativity and see what my human brain is capable of. It's this language that people can communicate in, because obviously there's multiple languages in the world. And so it's hard for people to connect. Like there's some artists that I follow on Instagram and I didn't even know that they were like German or Swiss or whatever until they posted on their story and they're talking. And I was like, what? I thought you were totally like an Englishman.
Oh yeah, I guess that is cool.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's cool to see that we can understand like what's going on in someone's mind just based on art. And that's music, painting, sculpting, video, photography, like blah, 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 whatever. All of it.
Right. Well, that's awesome. I think like it's its own language. That's a cool idea. According to the dictionary and Google, art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. It's pretty cool. So yeah, like you said, I think it is just this form of expression that is just creative, a creative form of expression, you know?
I could agree with that.
Yeah. But I haven't thought about it in the language since, like you were talking about, which is cool.
I honestly didn't think about it until I started talking. So go podcasting. Podcasting is so cool. But for real though, this year has been just a very eye-opening year in the form of art, and not in like a hippy-dippy sort of Zen way, I guess, but just the appreciation of mainly nature, of the world, of everything around us. So yeah, it's been good that I've been learning about art.
I agree. This year has been wild. Growing up, I was always taught in our home that science and math is where you're going to succeed. Juliet, my younger sister, is a very artsy. We always have told her that she's the artsy one in our family. She loves to sing and songwrite, and
she definitely is like the only one.
Yeah.
Actually, so how did that happen?
I don't know. And quite frankly, I'm jealous of her in that aspect, because she taught herself piano and guitar and ukulele, and she does love to write and songwrite. So and it's awesome. And we all love that about her. And I just never really thought that art was in my DNA and my blood, even though she's, part of my family. But I just didn't think it was with me. I didn't think I had it. And this year, like you said, was very eye-opening. I think the music was a huge one for me. I listened to over 145,000 minutes of music this last year. I don't remember how much that is.
A lot.
It's a lot, and it was great. And I think that just songwriting in general is just a really cool expression of art that people have, like their voices and the ability to like put certain instruments with each other and the timing of when the instruments play together, and it is just such a really cool form of art that I love now a lot more this last year.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, music has never been very huge in my upbringing, I guess. It was always just kind of like play whatever's on the radio and like no music playing in my house at all, like ever. But living together the past like 2 years here in Utah, Pierce has definitely introduced me to music.
I don't know how you shower without music, honestly.
I don't know how you do anything without music sometimes.
Yeah, cook, clean.
Yeah, honestly, it makes it so much more interesting and fun. Like I dance way more at home and out and about just because of music.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my life was so lame before music.
It's bland. Yeah.
Super bland. So anyways, it's been cool to like learn new artists and respect their way of art. Again, it's been this weird year for me that I've just been appreciating and recognizing like every form of art as awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nature, museums, music, downtown like architecture, sunsets, the shaping of light. Like it's been a year, and I've called it the gift of videography.
Mm-hmm.
As I've learned how to be a better filmmaker and photographer, and learning all these skills and what makes a good cinematic image, I've also come to see those things in life.
Like everyday life?
Yeah, like everyday life. So like what I've been doing recently is I've just been taking my camera, walking outside, even just through the neighborhood, and just taking pictures of everyday life. And it's like cinematic form that I see through my camera. It's been freaking fun. I've been loving it. A few months ago, I felt like just reality was so fake, and I couldn't really describe it or understand it until one day I was just like, you know what? I think my answer for it, there's probably no right answer, but my answer for it was like, this gift of videography that I've come to obtain and achieve is making me see life in a more cinematic way, therefore making it seem more fake and more movie-like.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, just more cinematic. Is it the concept that you were talking about where you're basically living life through a lens? Like you're seeing life through a lens? That type of an idea?
Kind of. Yeah. There's definitely times when I'm like, wow, my eyes make this seem like a wide angle lens, or very tight and focused when I'm focusing on different things. So it's just, it was just interesting. Life was so fake until I realized it. And now life is just a movie, and I'm in my own movie, and I'm the main character. And yeah, it's great.
That is cool. That's awesome. I also, another art form was film photography that I've been trying to get into.
Oh yeah.
And it's been super fun. I started out just by buying a bunch of disposable cameras because they're easy. Just click, click, click. You don't have to really worry or think hard at all.
Right.
And they're small and you can take them wherever. But then I actually got an actual film camera, and it's been so much harder, but so fun. And even just your recent little journeys out and about and going downtown with you, I've learned a lot just about photographing.
I don't think that's a word, but I was gonna say I'm so proud of you, and until you said that. I'm just kidding. Very proud of you. Very proud of your photography skills developing.
Yes, they suck, but it's fun, and that's why I do film. It's not really because I'm trying to make money. It's just fun.
Right,
it's like
and
documentation.
That's so fun with film, because it is just yours,
Mm-hmm.
Like it's obviously harder to post film photography.
There's some people that are really good at it though, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, props to them. It's hard. But I think that's kind of like the idea though, is that just learning different types of art forms is kind of what spices up life. Or like you said, listening to music when you're doing the dishes is just a lot more fun. It just brings a little more energy into your life, I think, than just doing the dishes and thinking about life, which can be good too in its own right. But
our power of silence. I forget what we called it. The balance of music versus like just listening to nature sounds.
Yeah. So there's a time for both. But regardless of music, just art in general, I think it is important. And that is, it does just bring a new, like you said, like a new view, a new light to your life whenever you are just trying to be more creative with art. So like film, like your pictures of the random things, like the architecture around downtown, all these things you don't normally take pictures of. Learning the uke, again, Juliet, my sister, she's inspired me. And also just because of all the music that has been listened to.
Good golly, we need to check your English.
I know it gets rough sometimes.
Super bad.
Juliet, my younger sister, did inspire me to learn the uke, which I'm slacking, but that's just another thing. Another activity to kind of spice up your own life a little bit,
you know how in marriage people are like, oh, we need to spice up our marriage, and they, go on a retreat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Except don't let it be Gerald's Game, because we don't want any
Don't want any deaths.
deaths or anything. That movie was wild. Anyways, you don't need to spice up your love life around us. Just spice up your creative life. I think it's definitely something that makes life more interesting and entertaining and keeps you on edge. That's something that I've found with this new passion of mine is it just makes life right now more interesting to me. Taking pictures of Salt Lake City, because I realized that I didn't really have that many pictures of like our home and our time here.
Right.
And so I just want to remember the things that we've done, or the places that we go to that are kind of like our spots, and just taking pictures there. So it is just like this way to spice up my life.
I didn't even think about this, but like culinary skills can even be a form of art, like
trying a new recipe. Like,
yeah.
Our life can be so bland in our routines.
Right. And it really does help bring like a new energy to your life whenever you do try a new recipe, or try to learn an instrument, or try to take different types of pictures than you normally do. Just whatever it is. That's something my mom taught me, I guess. My mom is a food fanatic. Again, there's a whole art form or chemistry or whatever you want to call it to cooking and baking that it's just a whole nother world you can dive into, I guess.
Another creative space
right.
that we are not very good at. But I will say that I've been learning to make some pretty decent banana bread.
Yeah, runs in his blood. His mom is good at baking.
She's
too.
too good. There's been a spark in me recently to just like learn everything that I can about people and their interests. That's probably going to be a whole podcast in of itself. English is hard for the both of us today.
It is a hard
language
task to complete.
Hard. But can we talk about one of the greatest artists of all time? Do you know who the GOAT of art is?
I think I have an idea. Mama Nature.
You're not allowed to look at my notes. Gosh dang it.
Oh, don't even.
Oh, don't even. But yes, Mama Nature. Why do you say that?
Well,
besides my notes right here.
Well, that was another thing this year that I think we both realized through video, film, pictures, music, even just looking at the beautiful things that have been created on this earth, whether it's the sunsets that you're just blessed with, or sunrises that just
good golly,
they just slowly just change and are so beautiful, or rocks that are just crazy looking and have crazy lines or colors, or are huge, or are balancing on other tiny rocks like canyons, trees, forests, mountains.
Big sequoia trees, Grand Canyon, islands. There's so much beauty.
And with like the rotation of the earth and the different seasons, there's a whole nother complex
science, much science and beauty.
And the lighting, like just, again, really just the different ways that light hits certain things at certain times in the days. The weather can totally make a place beautiful or totally garbage.
It's true.
So I think that Mama really is like the grand artist out here, and she has done a lot of things, like already created a lot of beautiful things, but also continues to like take your breath away.
Right. I think that we should all try to get into nature. And I think that's like the energy that I feel that I've come to know in nature is just the beauty of architecture, the beauty of art in general that you can just see in nature. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Expound for me.
Just like the music and sound of the waves like crashing onto the shore, or the patterns that you see like in the salt flats or the deserts, or all sorts of marine life in the ocean. The other day, wind on my face, just the wind and the power of wind and the power of the elements.
Yeah,
it's just all kind of been on my mind or my face, and I've just been loving it.
I agree, and I guess that really the main takeaway with art is that it really can bring joy to your life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also know that there's been times that it can be very frustrating learning new things. It can be very frustrating feeling like you're creative or you're doing different things than other people. And I also feel like, again, that's why nature is such an awesome form of art, just because it's kind of just there and you just kind of experience it rather than forcing some sort of creative aspect to it. You
Hmm.
know, like it's just kind of there for your taking, for you to just enjoy.
I mean, there's definitely art that's easier for people and harder for other people. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
me for one, I am not a graphic designer or even like a painter or blah blah blah, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I love photography, videography, songwriting, music, stuff like that. So I think it's kind of like this mission that people have to find their form of art that they connect with.
Right.
Even and that could also be no art and just being in nature and experiencing art.
Right. It's just art is just so diverse and so flexible, maybe is the right word, of just you can you can dive as deep as you want into whatever you want with art.
Right. Like if all you get into photography is just a disposable camera, do it. Like, cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a challenge for everyone that you should just try to get outside, either in nature or your neighborhood or even downtown, just wherever. Just like get outside and walk outside during a sunset and try to see the beautiful things around you that are just in everyday life that kind of seem monotonous, but appreciating it.
Right.
That's like what this new account of mine that I've started called life underscore with Trev. If you're interested, go follow.
It's pretty inspiring.
Pretty super. I'm an inspiring man.
Inspiration to us all. This guy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You can hold the applause.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Trevor, we
Oh
love
yeah,
you.
oh yeah, Trevor.
Yeah.
You're so cool. Anyways, but there is just so much to see. Like I was mentioning earlier, this gift of videography, I recognize patterns and lines and shapes and shadows, and so just being on the lookout for beauty, because there really is so much out there around me, like in everyday life, and it's just gonna be boring life if you don't open your eyes and experience the art of it all.
And it can be miserable. Life can be miserable.
Very miserable, depressing even.
It's really just your choice. Yeah. And art is an exceptional avenue for us to take to see the world. Basically, yeah, just see the world in a better view. And it does help be a little more grateful, a little more thankful, a little more excited to live each day. The past sunsets that we've been on or seen have just been so
good.
amazing. Yeah. And it's been hard. Like the cold weather, working a lot, it being dark. When I go to work and then get home, it's dark. You know, like seeing some of these sunsets and just talking or even just looking at them and not saying a word has just been very healing and very, very great in and of itself.
Yeah, it gets you out of your everyday life of just going to the hospital and working your shift, you know?
Right.
There's more than just work.
Yeah, there's more to life than even I realize. And I've started to notice that. There's so much in this life that we're going to experience emotionally, physically, mentally, and time is going to run out eventually for us all. So the challenge is what is our challenge?
The challenge is just, I think, getting out and experiencing life in a more beautiful way in the form of art, whatever art form that is for you. If you want to go out and paint a sunset, go hammock and just look at the mountains and study it, take a picture, disposable camera, phone, whatever.
You just want to put headphones on, listen to music, and walk around.
Right. I love doing that. That's what I do during sunset. I just put my headphones on and I walk and I take pictures.
Great little world.
It's so great.
Oh, yeah.
In my own little world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Sauner Sights is just all about: inspiring adventure and getting outside and living more fulfilled lives.
It's true. And thanks to Momma, we have so much around us. Wherever you live, there is always an opportunity to get a little taste of what Momma has to offer.
And thank you, all of our listeners, for supporting us. For real, we appreciate you. Sondersites.com. There are stickers, there are phone cases, there are soon to be apparel. We need to launch that. It's been a interesting transition to the 2022, but anywho,
Coming soon.
coming soon to a
So-
store near you. Not true.
Shipping to you.
Shipping to you. So anyways, that's it. That's beauty of art.
We're so grateful for life in general.
You should be too. Apply now to get yours today.
Apply now. Order now, and you'll receive
50%
5 minutes of happiness.
I want 5 minutes of happiness. Sign me up.
I want to be there. I want to be in that happy state.
1-800-HAPPY.
Call
Well-
now.
1-800-HAPPY thoughts.
We'll double your order. 10 minutes.
So I don't know about you folks, but I can get me some of that. So we'll see you there.
Get out there. Adios.
Bye.